Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the People's Voice. I am Trey Evans, and I am the People's Voice. Thank you for checking out the podcast this week. As always, it is greatly appreciated. As always, we thank everyone who has taken some time to listen to the podcast today. We do understand that you'll be utilizing your time to do something else, so we are truly appreciative that you're taking that time to spend with us. As always, if this information is valuable and you feel it to be enlightening and worth sharing, we do ask that you subscribe to the podcast and turn on notifications. That way you'll be notified when each episode is released. We put out a new episode each and every Friday, which can be heard anywhere you listen to podcasts. And then we also put a video out on YouTube every Wednesday as well for those of you who like to watch the podcast. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But in any event, we say welcome to the People's Voice podcast. So today I want to cover the topic of fake job postings, or better known as ghost jobs. And I want to talk about this for a few reasons. Number one, there was recently a survey that came out that was done by a website, which I'll check here in a second, but there was a survey that was done where this survey reached out to hiring managers. It didn't say if it was in the United States or if it was, globally, but they reached out to hiring managers to ask them about these ghost jobs, these fake job postings. And the feedback from it was astonishing to me, and I'll talk about that. And then secondly, I've noticed myself, because I'm constantly doing research, and I see on, sites like LinkedIn and Indeed, where you have all of these jobs that are being listed. And so I started doing a little bit of research, and there's definitely been a proliferation of fake jobs being posted. And this, from a lot of the articles that I've read about this and some of the studies, definitely is another one of those not lingering, but kind of post-pandemic problems, if you will, that has resulted, after the pandemic. Now, it was occurring before the pandemic, but like many other things, it has accelerated greatly. And so I want to talk about that today. Talk about ghost jobs and fake jobs postings. I guess before to kind of give a definition, let me give a definition first of what a ghost job is, and then we can go from there. I'm reading an article from NPR. They did a piece on this, and in that piece, they defined what a ghost job is. It says ghost jobs refer to listings by employers that either aren't real or have already been filled, but never lead to an actual hire. That's what a ghost job is, or a fake job is. And like I said, this is not, some myth. This is not some internet rumor. This is actually occurring. This is a real thing. And, one of those things that kind of solidified it for me was I read this study or this survey that was conducted by resumebuilder.com. That's the website, resumebuilder.com. They recently published an article covering this very topic. And in this article, they said that they reached out to over 640 plus hiring managers to ask them about this very topic. And matter of fact, in the heading of the article, it says 3 in 10 companies currently have fake job postings listed. So in their survey, they listed some key findings, and I want to kind of talk about that, and then also talk about some of the reasons why these companies are doing this. So in their key findings from this survey, it says 40% of companies have admitted that they posted a fake job listing this year. So as the recording of this podcast, June 2024, 40% of companies based on this survey have already acknowledged that they have listed a fake job posting. 3 in 10 companies currently still have active job postings either up on hiring sites or, possibly even on their site, which is just mind-boggling. But what I wanted to learn is, what is the reason? Like, why would someone purposely post a fake job? Like, what I don't understand. Like, why would someone do that? Well, they again admitted. This is admitted again, based on this survey, why they are doing this. And going back to that survey from resumebuilder.com, it says one of the topics here, the goal of a fake job post is to trick overworked employees. One of the reasons why it was stated that fake job postings or ghost jobs are posted onto job sites is because they want to make it appear that the company is open to external talent. Now, when you start talking about this is deception at its highest peak, as far as I'm concerned, right? Because, obviously, a lot of times in these companies, many companies are not open to external talent, and they prefer, when they can, to recruit from within. Obviously, it's a cost savings for them, because when you come from outside, you have to get paid more money, or typically you are paid more money when you're coming from outside into a company. When they recruit from internally, usually the raises are not as high as they can be. Obviously, it depends on what job and what level you're moving up to, but it's a cost savings for companies as well. But it drags on a fine line, because then you start getting into, DEI requirements, or at least DEI goals, and whether or not they're actually really seeking to create diversity, equity, and inclusion, and things of that nature. So that's a very tricky line. The fact that companies are willing to admit this is very concerning. It's the second reason why they said they post fake jobs is to make it seem like the company is growing, right? And I always say,
men lie, women lie, the numbers don't.
So they'll make the perception that the company is growing, that the company is doing well for themselves. And a lot of times this has to do not only with tricking the current employees, right, to make them think that, hey, the work that you're doing is making the company stronger and helping it to grow. But a lot of this has to do, especially when you start to get into publicly traded companies, trying to make the investors think that, oh no, the company is doing well. Look at all the job postings. We're hiring, we're growing, when in actuality, that is not the case. These two here was really the ones that made me go, wow, this is what we really doing this. Another reason why is to make employees believe their workload would be alleviated by new workers. And because many of these companies, or not many, but some of these companies, as you all well know, have a lot of large companies earlier this year and late last year have had a lot of layoffs, especially in the tech space. They've laid off a lot of people. And so when a layoff occurs, that means that whoever's left basically has to pick up the slack for those employees who are not there. So a lot of these job postings are posted to make employees think that, oh no, we've got help coming for you. And they think that this is a way to maximize productivity for these current employees. But I don't know. I'm a little wary of that. And then another reason here that made me go, wow, this is crazy. They want to give the perception to the current employees that, hey, yeah, you might be overworked, but we have job postings that are listed and you can be replaced. So again, one of the tactics is to utilize this as a motivating factor for um, employees, which, if your company is doing that, or if you work for a company that's doing that, I sincerely think you should go and look for another company, because true leadership doesn't motivate people through fear tactics. So, I thought that was pretty lame, that the fact that companies are still are doing that for that reason. And then one of the last reasons here, they said that, they do it to collect resumes to keep them on file for, later dates. So basically they're using these fake job postings almost as a sourcing to bring people in that they can then sort out when a job actually does open up, which, I just have tremendous issues behind that. Another reason why this is occurring is because it costs money for these companies to post jobs to these websites. So whether it's LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, whatever the career job or job posting site is, how they make their money, just in case you guys didn't know, is that the company pays them to put the job up on their job board, because these job boards have eyes on them, right? Because people sign up and register. And then they post these jobs here for those people that have subscribed, but the job board posting site says, hey, you got to pay us to post this job. Well, another reason why there are fake jobs is because there may be times where the job posting site will say, well, hey, for $200, you can post 3 jobs. Well, if their company doesn't have 3 jobs, what do? Do you just post the one and not take the benefit? No. So what some of these companies are, they're fulfilling basically the quota that they signed up for regarding these jobs. This was discussed on NPR, did a piece on this as well, and they talked with a company called Wing Tech, I believe it was, right? I think it's Wing Tech. And this company apparently provides parts for companies. They make parts for planes and for the military. And the co-owner of this company is called Wing Tech. She admitted that not only have they posted fake jobs or ghost jobs, but then she gives the reason behind this. So let me just play this really quick from NPR, and then I'll continue.
Just in case one of these highly skilled masters drops by.
Also, Allison says that the job listing companies give her the incentive to put up more job listings than are immediately required. Like, she says ZipRecruiter charged her $400 a month for 3 job listings. So even if there was only one urgent hire...
Well, I've already got the $400 a month, and I'm not going to let the job ad just sit empty. Might as well have it posted.
And this is, again, this is not made up, ladies and gentlemen. This is not made up.
All I'm doing is presenting the facts.
So this is occurring, and this company, Wintech, it seems like a small company, but this is occurring on a grand scale as well from some of the companies that you know very well. Not only is this occurring here in the United States, again, like I said, this is a global issue. I was looking at a piece that was done by the Today Show in Australia, and they were talking about this topic as well. And I want to play this piece as well because, again, like I said, this is not just a United States issue. This is happening globally. So listen to this piece here from the Today Show in Australia, and then I'll close out from there and kind of give some things that you can do to spot some of these fake jobs or job postings.
this? Yeah, well, if you go to the example of the overworked staff member, I mean, at some point the help actually isn't going to come, right? And so you're not just really getting potential applicants offside, but also your current workers. But then also word of mouth works so differently these days. So it's not just, having the water cooler conversations. It's Glassdoor and Fishbowl where people are going to these websites to expose and talk about these practices within organisations. And then even now with Gen Z, in TikTok, there's this subgenre called work talk. And so they're sending or creating reels and videos and posting them, calling out what they believe to be this kind of unethical practice.
And again, that's from the Today Show in Australia. So they're talking about that as well. And in that piece, and I don't have the gentleman's name, but he made some good points in terms of how this is being exposed more and more and more. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do it today, because I know people are going to be looking for jobs or are looking for jobs and may have been frustrated about the job search. And it's not you. Like, you may have been posting or replying to a fake job. So how do you spot this, right? How do you spot whether or not a job is fake? Well, Forbes magazine also did a piece on this as well. And they gave some pretty good information. They said one of the things that they pointed out here is that the amount of time that a job is posted, because it says here it takes approximately 44 days for companies to fill an open position. So when you apply for a job, first thing you want to do is check the date it was posted. And many of these job posting sites, they have filters where you can filter 30 days, 90 days. You want to change that filter. You don't want to look for jobs that, just say all time. You want to filter it at least to 30 days to see what jobs are actually current. But it says when applying for jobs, first check the date it was posted. If it's been open for 2 months or more, then there's a good chance that that's a ghost job, and you might want to not even bother trying to post to that. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't consider applying. It just means that if you feel that you're an ideal fit, one of the things that you should do is, if you go to the job posting site and you see this job has been out there a while, you might want to go to the company site to see if the job is actually posted there. Because if it's not posted there, then that means that it might just be one of these ghost jobs that are sitting out there on that job posting site. Another great thing that you can do is, if you on some of these career sites like LinkedIn, you might want to reach out to either the hiring manager or reach out to the recruiter that works for that company to confirm whether or not this job is available, and then see if you can go through the process of applying for the job. Another thing that is suggested here, it says look for detailed job descriptions. It says authentic job postings usually include details about qualifications and responsibilities of the role. It says if a job description is vague, it's usually a red flag. Many ghost jobs don't even include a position or description. Instead, they highlight a long list of perks to encourage candidates to apply. So these are just some of the things that you want to look out for, because, a lot of this, again, I stated some of the reasons why the companies do this, but there are also scams out there to try to gather your personal information. So you want to be very, very careful. Do your due diligence when you are looking for a job, and, follow some of these recommendations when it comes to identifying whether or not a job that has listed is intentionally being listed as a ghost job. So not only do you not waste your time, but you don't potentially endanger yourself by having your personal information out on the internet. But that's what I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, I wanted to talk about this because, I felt like, we needed to sound the alarm on this, because, I know, again, it's summertime, people coming back from vacation, and, you get that feeling like I want to change my job. And now you might be spending 6 months trying to get a fake job that was never intended, or actually never was, there was no job behind it. And now, you just wasted your time and energy. So be on the lookout. Ghost jobs. It's out there. But that's my time for today. As always, if you'd like to leave a comment, you can reach me on any of the social media platforms. You can reach us at the People's Voice Podcast on Instagram. You guys have been contacting me on YouTube, so I appreciate that. The YouTube channel is I Am Trey Evans, where the podcast is posted. So you can reach out to me there, or you can reach out to me on any of these social media platforms at I Am Trey Evans. But that's my time for today. So as always, dreams are not just for sleeping. Please wake up and live your dreams. My name is Trey Evans, the People's Voice. Tell somebody about the dream. Salute.